Welcome to our talk show. Before we begin, we would like to make a disclaimer that everything mentioned in this show comes from personal experiences and opinions. We may refer to biblical references and teachings from the man of God, Prophet Philip Banda, but these are also subject to personal interpretation. Our goal is to share our perspectives and experiences, and we encourage our viewers to seek guidance and counsel from trusted sources before making any significant decisions in their lives. Furthermore, the views expressed in this show may not represent the views of Impact for Christ Ministries. We acknowledge that everyone has their own unique journey and circumstances, and what may have worked for us may not necessarily apply to others. Hi everyone, welcome back to today's talk show. My name is Ruben and today I am with Luto.
Hi everyone.
Hi Luto, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Do you remember what we were talking about yesterday?
We were talking about studying and how to study.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the exact title. But
You were here.
I know. But you know,
just give it like a brief summary of what we were talking about.
so yesterday we spoke about how to study and different methods of studying. And so, you always get told, no, you should study. So yesterday we kind of helped you on ways you can study, showing different methods on how you can study and explaining them and rating them.
Thank you so much. And today we'll be talking about maintaining balance in life. You know, there's some people who work and study at the same time.
Yeah.
And our panelists here, would you like to introduce yourself?
I think by now hi, I'm Nande. Hi, I'm Tafaza. Thank you.
Hi, Taffy.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, bro?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you, Luto?
Hi, Tafatwa. How are you?
Very beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Why you look nervous today, bro?
Why am I what?
Why do you look nervous?
Oh, I'm very nervous. I'm not a person for TV.
But we appreciate
we are
the
here.
efforts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wait, is this brother raising up?
I'm trying to raise Luto. I heard you speak about Riz the other day, so I'm like, I'm going to raise that girl. Then they called me. So I was waiting for the opportunity.
You are here now. The floor is yours, brother.
Thank you.
Anyways.
Why are you doing this?
No. What am I doing?
It's okay. Let's continue with the show.
Let's go on. Okay, so what does good balance look like in terms of school, work, church, girlfriend? You know, you name it. What does good balance look like according to you guys?
Okay, for me, hypothetically, no, it's not hypothetical, but like generally speaking, having to maintain good balance in everything, like your life, and I think it's knowing. I remember the Prophet once taught something about this. It's having priorities. Because having priorities, then you know how to maintain balance in certain things. I think you probably have a good understanding of where you are, where you want to be, and that guides how you sort of like structure your life around things. So if you're talking about maintaining balance in school and work, for those that are doing school and work, you look at why you're going to work, why you're studying. You know, there's many reasons that could go around that. So you think of how to balance that, because if I can talk about myself, or not me, okay, but about myself, and I'm sure I'll be speaking for many others, you find when you start work without having finished school, you can sort of like throw yourself off, because when you start earning good income, when you start earning, it becomes difficult to go back to school. But that takes you off balance. So that's what balance is for me: knowing your priorities and structuring them around what you want to get done for your life.
So before you continue, I just want to. So the reason we having this topic today about having balance is because we tend to focus on one aspect of our lives more than others. So we just, whether it's school, whether if you are in school and you're doing sports and you're doing extra other curriculum activities outside of your academics, also work and stuff. So I think I think we all struggle with that work-life study balance. So I think what you're saying is it's all about priorities.
And knowing what you want.
Yeah, and the focus also that so how you mentioned that you were working before continue studying. I also had that. That's why. So for me personally, I advocate for a gap year. But in advocating for a gap year, no, go back to school, because once you start making money when you're not making money, it's nice. You're like, actually, I'm making enough money, I don't need to go to school. But I think if you are taking a gap year, or you're in a situation where you are taking a gap year, have it as a time to reflect. Like, for me, my gap year was eye-opening. I was like, oh my gosh, this is how difficult life is without a degree, and I don't want to continue living like this. So for me, that's how my gap year helped me. It helped me focus. So by the time I went into varsity, I was focused. I'm like, I'm here to actually get this degree and like benefit from my degree. So yeah.
Okay, you know what, just on that, for me, I think, look, it's more about knowing. Look, where we as young people get caught up the most is doing something without knowing why we are doing it. So I remember there was a question the Prophet asked, what do you do when you don't know what to do? A lot of times we find ourselves there because, like what you're saying now, taking a gap year. You can take a gap year if you know why you're taking a gap year.
Yeah.
All right? For me, I did not take a gap year because I wanted to. It was because of the struggle of gaining admission into school at that particular time. So I think if it's something that's deliberate, you're doing it deliberately, and you know why you're taking a gap year, good for you. Because it shouldn't be an instance like you mentioned, you've not been earning income. All along you've been relying on pocket money, for instance. And then you start making your own money. It's a different ballgame. Mm-hmm. A lot of things come into play. You've got your own desires, and you're at an age where you like to experiment a lot of things. So you want to go out, you hear there's this thing happening, you want to do it. I mean, you can afford at that particular time. But if you're doing it, a lot of people have different reasons. So for me, I think it's just a matter of knowing why you want to do a particular thing.
What about you, Tafi? How do you maintain balance, or what do you think good balance looks like?
Personally, I think that when it comes to having to do something, for example, if you've got work, you've got school, you've got other things that you're doing, you need to know yourself, like what you can handle, so you know what to take on. For example, if you're someone who, like myself, I feel like I'm someone who, when it comes to both, I like school, for example. I feel like I need to be in a class for someone to explain to me. So now you can imagine if I'm to start work and then include school in it, and there's no one who's teaching me, I won't be able to handle both of them at the same time, unless I find someone who can teach me around and I can go to them. So I think if you know what you can do and you know yourself that you can reach this capability, then it will be easy for you to tackle both. But as a person, I feel like you should know what you can handle, then you can approach life, you can choose things that you can handle so that you don't get overwhelmed at the end of the day. So I think balance is all about knowing what you want and having to be able to choose which one comes first according to what you want to achieve. I don't know if that makes sense. Thank you.
So going on to our next question, I want to ask, how do you think having an imbalance or balance affects our lives in general? So, for example, me, I'm at this point in my life where I think my work-life balance isn't the greatest. I feel like most of my time is at work at the moment. And So legit, my life is work, church, no complaints. But obviously, like, there's still like family I need to make time like for and stuff. So how do you think having an imbalanced life affects us?
Okay. One of the things that could be affected is you could be, what's that term you use for someone who's, you know, when you do too many things, and then there's a particular word you use for that. You know, when your battery drains, there's that word you use.
When you're gonna be, yes.
You get what I'm
Yeah,
trying to
yeah,
say.
yeah.
I don't know if,
No, I don't.
So it's when you,
what's that word?
Ish.
Fine, never mind the word, okay? But if
burnout.
there's burnout, that's what I was looking
You're
for.
gonna burn out.
You're gonna burn out because you are imbalanced. Balance is good. It's like last week. I'm just gonna use last week as an example when we had the I don't know if he's a dietitian, but like he was giving us health tips.
Yeah.
So if you can use that as an example, even in your diet, you have to balance. You can't just be straight one way into a certain type of eating. You're affecting yourself. So I think it's the same as far as life is concerned. Having an imbalance, you are hurting or injuring yourself a particular way, because a balance is needed in whatever it is we're doing. I think that's why also it comes to play that in as much as you could be studying, working, you know, you have your family responsibilities, when you have time to rest, as opposed to getting yourself an energy drink because that's the balance I think we're talking about. That's so I think for me, not having balance or having an imbalance, you are affecting yourself in such a way that you are not giving your body the enough rest it needs. I don't know if that applies to, but for me it does. Like, there's a lot of areas it touches.
And when it comes to academics, how do you guys think that plays a role?
What, having an imbalance?
Having an imbalance. So, for example, let's say you're just focused on studying, like, which is great. It's a great thing to be focused on, but there's still other aspects. So maybe you're not like in a sports club or something. You're not spending time with your family. You're not spending time with your friends. So how would that then affect you as a person or your academics in general?
This is I don't know for him, but this is the issue. And I used to see it happening when I was still in school, okay? Life isn't only books.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, then a lot of things are affected. You only focus your mind on studies. So what happens when there's no studies?
Did you know? The current population of Israel is over 8.7 million as of May 2021. Israel's population is equivalent to 0.11% of the total world population. Isn't it amazing that a little portion of the world's population can shake the whole world?
So we are going to take the 10 days. The 10 days is an eye-opener. It's an eye-opener to the story of the people of Israel, in the land of Israel, in the story of Jesus, Yeshua, and the story of God.
It's the Danite Springs that feeds the Sea of Galilee.
Thank you, viewers, for staying tuned. Thank you, viewers, for watching. We apologize for the technical glitch. We have managed to resolve the problem, and we are back now. You asked a question before the glitch, and Nandia was asking, can we just go through that again?
So the question was, how does imbalance affect academics, or focusing too much on academics affect other aspects of your life?
Cool. So what I was saying is, life isn't life is about learning, but you can't constantly be on books as though there's nothing else going on in life. Then what type of a person are you going to be? Because even in studying, if you are too much of a bookworm, the balance, I could give an example as, there should be a chance for you to be able to share that information. That's balance. Whatever you're learning, you should be able to offload it elsewhere. I don't know if that's a good example of balance, but I can't constantly be absorbing or constantly be on one thing fixed on, I'm studying. When am I going to see the sun? When am I going to take a walk? When am I going to greet people? For those that, but for those that want to, when am I going to socialize? I should be able to do those things. For me, I'm not looking at it as losing focus. I can maintain focus, but I should be able to balance out in life. I think it's the same also for Christianity, and the best example we have, all right? Okay, but maybe we haven't reached there. You asked about academics. But I was about to say the best example we have there is the prophet.
True.
Have balance, even in academics. You can't be a bookworm 24/7.
Yeah.
Tafatwa?
In terms of like staying only focused in like school, I think it also makes you a robotic person. It makes you boring. Like, it makes you boring because, like, if now your mere focus is like school, like you don't balance things out, how do you spend time with family, spend time with friends? And at the same time, spending time with friends can be detrimental also if you're not around the right company. But sometimes we learn outside of school, because now if you remain focused on your books, how can you learn a life lesson, like a life lesson in general? Because in your books you're probably learning about like whatever quadratic formulas or whatever it may be. So yeah, that's my thing. That's what I think.
I would like to say I think differently. Okay, hear me out, ne? I think that people are different. So if I love books, it doesn't mean that I'm forever there. Yes, I can be there. Okay, I'll give an example. There's people who love books, like they are focused, they determine that they make sure that everything that they are known for is the academics, that I passed, I go to school, I pass, I do this. They sideline sports, they sideline social activities. They study so that they get better grades. What I wanted to ask you a question. You say that they become boring. What do you mean they become boring? Before I continue.
I mean, someone who is like merely focused on school, like I feel like they become like boring. Like they've no substance.
But what if they are fulfilled with themselves?
Yeah.
They don't care about what the other person thinks. Cause I don't like
You're
books.
cooking me.
I'm just saying. Okay, I like books. I wanna go to school. I wanna do everything, get all those degrees and everything, and it's a good thing. But I'm saying that there are people who find themselves in studying, that they want to study and do something. That anything else that comes to them, they don't want it. They are fulfilled with that. Even if someone else who's outside thinks that they're boring.
We're not discrediting someone who's, you do get bookworms, you do get people who are solely focused on academics, like someone who's a doctor.
Yes.
We get that takes a lot of determination and intention and a lot of hard work and time on their side. We're not saying that no, don't be that type of person. We're just saying there still should be a balance. For example, someone who you're talking about, someone who's just solely focused on books, no family time, you're not going to have social skills. So now you're this learned person, but now you're going to get into the workplace. How are you going to communicate with your colleagues? How are you going to work in a team?
Okay.
So you end up missing other life skills. Like, it's good to focus on books, definitely. Get your books and get your degree and get your bag, but the other aspects you need, like even if you're a doctor, how are you going to communicate with your patients? How are you going to read social cues? So I think that's why it's important to have that life balance.
Yes.
When it's, as much as I don't have one at the moment, but it's important to have it. That's why this talk show is important. It's like, listen, asukcimi me from studying, eh? Don't say here they said we don't have to study, please. Okay, focus on the books, please pass. But just have balance. Take a break, see your friends, talk. And for example, even in varsity, it's important to have friends, because sometimes you're not going to attend lectures.
Yes.
You need someone who'd be like, so what did you learn today? Have focused friends.
Yes.
So what did you guys learn in the lecture? I couldn't make it. Please share the slides with me. So you need that to kind of help you. And it's also good to have these relationships. Hopefully it would be nice if you're able to grow into these relationships for the rest of our lives. But, life happens.
Also, in relation to that, maintaining like a good school and life balance in general. So let's say now your only focus is school, studying. You don't do anything else. Like that, you could not also take care of yourself physically, like in terms of going to the gym. Like you disregard going to there's a lot of people who disregard going to the gym, but like you disregard going to the gym. So now it's taking a toll on your health. Not to say school is unhealthy. Others may say it is. But, for someone who's only focused on school, they study, eat. They're constantly sitting. And they're not, like, exercising or going to the gym. It also takes a toll on your health. So, yeah.
Just also on that, because our gentleman here asked, I don't think we're taking away from, we're not confusing someone being focused from being balanced. I don't think those are the same thing. You can be focused, but in you being focused, you can be imbalanced. I don't know if you've ever heard of the phrase being unequally yoked. Balance is important, because if you are too much on the one side, you can't even walk straight. So where are you heading to? I think that's why the balance is important. Even in academics, I don't think the point here is to say don't study. Study, all right, but give yourself also time to take a break from books. It's not only that. That's not the only thing there. Go out. You are not, if there's some people who are introverts. If you're not a people's person, it's fine, but I'm sure you've got family. If you don't, like Luto was saying, make friends maybe who are in the same line, who are in the same field as you are, who like the same things that you do, so that if you need assistance anyway, then at least you're not found alone.
So, so how do you guys think we
wait, before we go further, there's a comment from the creative media who says, wait, sir, you're getting too excited now. A person merely focused on school is boring. What if I've decided to school for now and do other stuff later when I'm done with school? Huh?
So, Ruben, this is directed to you because
yes, it's
you who
directed
said
to me.
that.
Yes.
So, did you use boring for a lack of a better word?
Yes.
I think he meant it. No, I don't think he meant it. I think he meant it.
I did mean it, but I also couldn't find a better word. But I also used the word robotic. So you do one thing, like.
But life tends to be, you can't, okay, also but robotic, because then you're talking about having a routine. And whether we like it or not, life ends up being a routine.
Oh, well. Because I think that's the question he was asking. When you say boring, like what do you mean? Because also, I think that's a topic for another day. That's where some of the issues of young people stem from. You end up being labeled socially as this person who's boring, and that's because you are pursuing something in. So I think we can accept it as maybe being. Maybe that was said because of a lack of a better word. But I think the point that he was trying to do was that you deny yourself of certain things that maybe you should be able to see or to enjoy, more so when you're young. Not that you should be reckless. Yes, study, focus at school or in your books and everything. But that shouldn't like consume you to such a point that you are completely closed out from. That's why I was saying I think there's a difference when we talk about balance and focus, unless if it's the same thing.
Thank you. You've spoken for me. Thank you.
Okay, so the next question, time. So therefore, time management comes into play of us having an work-life study imbalance sometimes. So for example, me. Oh Lord, if my colleagues are watching, excuse me. Like I like it, but sorry. I think so. For example, like I'm in an agency, and you get, especially if you work in a place where it's like no. So one time, I think I wanted to like stop working early that night. You see, I said night. I didn't say that afternoon. I said that night. So I was like no, and she was like no, but we're all working late. And now I felt bad because I'm like, well, this is something. Yes, it's true. Everyone is working late, but now we're like, what? Like, so for me, I think even if no matter how much I can try and manage my time better, but it's when I finish one task, something else is gonna come in. Oh no, Luta has capacity. Please do this. Then I end up having like meetings from 8 until 9 o'clock because we're trying to also please client and meet deadlines. So yes, time for me personally, time management can be an issue, but sometimes I feel like it can really be out of your control.
It's true.
How so? What do you mean out of your control? I don't understand.
So let's say, for example, like last week, guys, we have a pitch, and so a pitch is extra work. It's not work that's already, and you're not going to be paid for this. The company isn't being paid for that work. It's like someone has asked us to do this. Can we do them? Let's show them what we can do, right? But then on top of that, there's still the duties that I have that are my role that I have to do. So like, no, guys, so for this week, we are going to work on the pitch after hours, which is the thing. Pitches are done after hours. So I would have managed my time like, no, I'm going to finish work at stereotypically 6. I'll be home 6:30. But no, now a pitch got briefed in, and I was told maybe the day before that, no, from the remaining of the week, we're working on this pitch, you're staying like late. So that's what I mean. Like sometimes it's out of your control.
Okay, can I? So I think this is why one time we had this topic. I remember Ruben was here.
Yeah.
We're discussing why are you in a hurry?
Yeah.
And what I understood by that topic, it's exactly what you're talking about now, like time management. It's like us young people are constantly rushing to do something, or are always occupied with something, which again goes into balance in life. When am I going to get the time? Because look, if you think about it, from the time you finish school at 18, 17, 18, 19, for some of them up until they reach 60, all that time is spent working. You are too focused, putting your time into those, and look, your mind is on acquiring. You may find even when there's time to spend with your family, you'd rather spend it doing some work. Which goes back to what we're discussing. Balance in life, balance in time management is very important. because you'll miss out on the things that you should have been having earlier on. You'll miss out on those things, and unfortunately, it may not be the case that you have the time to. Others may have that chance, others may not. So I think even in time management, balance is important.
Yeah.
There's time for everything.
Yeah.
We are taught even here at church by the prophet. There's time for everything. When it's time to do something, so this is where I think even myself I'm caught lacking in this specific area, time. When it's time for something, I think the issue is that we don't spend that time to do what
That
we're
thing.
supposed to be doing
Yeah.
at that particular time.
Yeah. Yeah.
As a result, it ends up falling into time for something else.
Yeah.
And because now I'm doing what I was supposed to be doing, then, you know, this other thing is affected, which now I have to push. You know, it's like a ripple effect.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
time management is important.
Yeah.
Balancing your time is very much important. I think it's important for one to know that, okay, look, we don't own time and everything. So when it's time to do this, it's time to do this. That's focus now. All right. It's time to study. It's time to study. Now it's not time to study. It's time for me to socialize.
Yeah.
You know, you specific, like I was saying earlier, you know what you want to do at what time, when, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I agree with you actually, because I think a good time management ultimately leads to a good balance in life. Because as you were saying, you say now it's time to study, and then let's say now it's time to go to groove. You know, now you're not just a bookworm, you're also like a groovist. So you have fun. You have fun.
Stress or less stressed?
Man, please repeat your question.
So if you've so you've managed things, right? So you have time management, right? Or time management, or being able to manage your things well, or not well, I guess. Does it either increase your stress or increase your stress or decreases your stress? So for example, like Nande said earlier on, so I think low-key I'm like that. I'm working on it because I've picked it up while I'm young. So I'm one of those people, when I'm not doing something, like I'm like, it's quiet. Like this week was relaxed. Then I'm stressed because I know, I'm thinking, next week, because this week was quiet, I know next week is gonna be fire because there was nothing happening this week. So I don't know if that answers it. So do you think, for me personally, it's a little bit of both? It makes me, yes, I'm not stressed, but at the same time I'm stressing because I'm like I'm chilling, but what's gonna happen? What's gonna come into what's for me personally.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. I don't know if I'll be answering your question.
Okay, wait, let me answer it. Let me ask the question again. Does a lack of time management and balance make us more or less stressed?
It actually makes us more stressed. Because if not having time management, like not being able to say, this time I'm going to do this time I'm going to do this time I'm going to do this, you end up being stressed, because by the time those things are supposed to happen, it feels like everything is all at once, and you end up feeling overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say something else again that is opposite of that. There's this statement that people like saying. There's this saying that people like saying. They say that there are people who work well under pressure. And I don't know how well that is, but I can say that for myself, I feel like, I don't want to say I work well under pressure, but I do.
Can I just ask quickly? Look,
Yeah.
if I think you were about to say you also work well under pressure.
It's not that I'm procrastinating. Sometimes, right? Oh, this might be toxic, eh? Yeah.
It's
It's that, like, no. Like, you push something out, you'll push something out. And then 3 days later, best believe you're there. And you're going to do well. It's because of that pressure.
I don't agree.
Yeah, I also don't agree. Because look, I used to have that mindset.
Yeah.
And I remember one young gentleman, younger than me,
Yeah.
challenged me with a question. For some reason, I was sort of like boasting in that statement. Oh yeah, I work well under pressure.
Yeah.
The question he asked me was, so you wait for the pressure to come? That opened my mind. Because if I say I'm working well under pressure, or like, what am I saying? What do I mean? Am I waiting for the pressure to be applied?
Yeah.
If I work well under pressure, then why can't I pressure myself when I have the time to do the thing?
Exactly.
Okay, touche. But sometimes I think that statement is broad.
Okay.
So it's, for example, again, work. I think that pressure thing might not be really a thing in school yet, but I know with work, sometimes, guys, someone wants this, client wants this by, so today's Thursday, right? Client wants this tomorrow afternoon COB. That's pressure. It's not planned. It's client who has pressures from wherever. Now they briefing us. Client wants this tomorrow COB.
Can I say something?
So I think in that sense, that is work. It's unforeseen pressures.
I think that I'm speaking about foreseen pressures.
Oh,
Where you know that you're supposed to do something, but
Oh,
you're not doing it. And let me just say that I think that it comes from when you're young, or not even when you're young. For example, if I'm sitting here and I know that I'm supposed to submit something at 11 today, and then I don't work on it on time, but then when I approach around 9:30, I start panicking, and then I work on it, and then I submit it before 11, and then I get a good result out of it. What happens the next time is that because this has happened before, because I've been able to do this under pressure, I will be able to do the next thing under pressure. So that's how the habit develop. You do it once, you do it twice, and then it becomes a habit, and it becomes a saying. So I think that I'm not saying that it's a good thing, but I'm saying that there are people are different.
yeah.
I'm not encouraging people to be lazy and sit and procrastinate and then work when they're under pressure. But I'm just saying that there's this statement that I've heard around saying that I work well under pressure. And I wanted to hear your opinion about it.
Can I first answer the question? So the question you asked, I have a different opinion, because he was saying not having time management can stress you out.
Yeah.
But I can also say having time management
Also stresses
can stress you out.
Yes.
Why I'm saying so is because I think the problem a lot of times with us human beings, like how we think, or maybe it may not be human beings, it may be, a me issue. You think when you have control of certain things, then you're the it, like, you're the one. But what happens when you don't have that control? Sure, you may have put aside time to do something at a particular look, you've done whatever you need to do, but this is life. There's unforeseen circumstances.
Yeah.
There's things that happen that you don't plan for. So what happens when you don't do what you wanted to do
In that specific time.
And look, it's not to say it's something small. It will definitely affect something in the long run. It's gonna stress you out. But I don't think that takes away from the fact that have time management. I remember the Prophet taught once. He said, "Plan, yes. Worry, no." So I think that for me answers it. You can have time management and still stress. It's not to say the stress is a bad thing.
So are you saying, what you personally, would you say, would you rather have time management or not have time management?
I'd rather have time management.
Same. It would make life so much easier.
There's a lot of benefits with having time management. Look, like he was saying, suppose you don't manage your time properly. It's broad. It falls into other things. But maybe it's not the same with everyone.
Okay, what gives more stress? Lack of time management or time management? Because you said they both can give stress, but what
they
gives
both
more
can
stress?
give stress, but lack of time management gives more stress.
Yes, I agree. And with that being said, I think we can take a short break.
break.
Catch us right after the break. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Just go drink water, and you'll find us right after the break. Thank you.
We'll be
Did you know Israel is a tiny country? From the Mediterranean Sea in the west to the Dead Sea in the east can be crossed by car in about 90 minutes, and the trip from Metula in the far north to Elad in the country's southern tip takes about 9 hours.
So we are going to take the 10 days. The 10 days is an eye-opener. It's an eye-opener to the story of the people of Israel, in the land of Israel, in the story of Jesus, Yeshua, and the story of God. This is exactly the region where Jesus did most of his miracles and mighty works.
Thank you so much for those who are still watching. And I'll just go through some of the comments that have been said in the comment section. The first comment I have here is from Nobi, who says, Luto, to answer your question, I think it's important that you learn to say no. Yes, work is important, but the more you say yes when you shouldn't, the harder it will be for you to have a balance.
And that is so true. I think as a young adult and you're growing, I'm learning the importance of boundaries and saying no. So, period to your answer. Much appreciated. I am learning and we are working on it.
Okay, next comment from Yantle, who says, all the things I've done the best were done under pressure. Just saying. Which is what we were talking about before the break. The pressure.
But we all low-key know if we actually spent time on something, it could have. So let's say you worked under pressure and you got 70%. But if you actually took time to do that particular assignment or study for that particular test, probably could have gotten 90, 80. So, yeah.
My point is, if you do something without pressure, you do it more effectively than you would have with pressure. But also people are different. So some people actually do work better under pressure.
Okay. Was that all?
Yeah.
So why do you think we get so easily caught up in a busy schedule and then burn out?
I think you'd be a better one to answer first.
I think so for me. Okay, so I think maybe it's because of the school I went to. So I've always been someone, I've always said this, maybe it's not good, but I've always said this about myself. I do really well when I'm doing a lot of things. And maybe because at school I was in netball, I was in drama, and then I was, then it was action netball out of school. So it's like extra sport out of like school hours. Then it's still studying. Then I had tournaments on Saturdays, and then Sundays church the whole day. So I think because of my schedule was like that I just, now I'm this person where I tend to, I feel like I perform better when I'm doing a lot of things. But then when I do crash, I crash bad. Once I'm done, I'm like, no, actually, I'm not one of those people when a sign of a burnout is getting sick, where I know a few of my friends, if she's sick, I'm like, you're tired. You need to actually, rest. So for me personally, I think I like it. That's why. I like that thing of doing many things at once, going from this and this and this and this.
I agree. I actually agree with you.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with you because also doing nothing
Yeah.
can be very draining. You can get, I don't know how true this is, but I think you can get a burnout from doing nothing.
Yeah, and
a mental burnout, you'd be like, oh.
Yeah, and I think, I'm someone who likes doing many things at once because I was groomed to be doing, I was groomed in doing many things at once. And I was just, now I'm used to living like that. And also, I think when I'm not doing too many things at once, I get bored. I'll end up finding things to do. You see, and then I make bad financial decisions like that.
I just wanted to ask, when you say that you were doing many things at once, and you're even going to the extent of doing sports out of your own sports, like out of school, you had to join another netball team outside. I wanted to ask, did you not feel pressurized? Like when you're in netball, didn't you feel the pressure to cover school? When you're in school, didn't you feel the pressure to do chess, for an example? When you're playing chess, didn't you feel pressurized to do something else?
No, I didn't. I think because when I was in school, I genuinely enjoyed the sports I did play, so which were netball, softball, and athletics. I genuinely enjoyed swimming. I was like, for who, for what? No way. And also, I think also the swimming schedule at school was hectic. Like, imagine now I must be at school at 6 o'clock in the morning in a pool. I'm black. Imagine now I must be there in the water in the corners, and then have and swimming was throughout the whole year. So this is happening from winter, summer, autumn, spring. So for me personally, I wasn't. And then hockey, I'm also scared of that hockey disc. So yeah, I was really content with the sports I played.
So you said something like, it's because you were doing the sports that you loved and you didn't feel anything. Is it?
Yeah.
So does that mean that if
I didn't like them,
if you didn't like them, perhaps you might have felt pressure?
I don't think I would have felt pressure. I probably would have stopped doing them. I would have said, I don't like this. Why should I continue? I could be doing other things that I actually like instead of being here at netball practice for 2 hours.
Okay. The reason I was asking is because I wanted to ask a question that now when it comes to time management and having to find balance, does the love of what you're doing apply to you being able to find balance? I don't know if that question makes sense.
It does make sense.
You said your question is, does the love of what you're doing...
Does the love of what you're doing... Please, you had it.
Help you find balance. Yes, is that the question?
No, does the love of what you're doing contribute to feeling pressure in finding balance between whatever that you're doing, whatever the many things that you've chosen to do?
Because you like them all.
Yes,
I think so, because you're like, so you do it according to days. So today is netball. So well, let's say I had all of these sports in one term. So maybe if I would have said netball is Monday, softball is Tuesday, Wednesday is athletics, Thursday's match day for netball, and then Friday, let's say I have
soccer.
No.
Okay.
Then and then Friday is an athletic meet.
Yes.
So I think it would have forced me, because I like all of them. I would have said, no, let me make time. Like people say, you make time for the things you love.
Exactly. I was about to say that.
So yeah, I think so. It does.
Okay, so two things. First, to answer your question, I think there's, again, coming to us young people, it's just, I think, a norm where you feel secure doing a lot of things at once.
Yeah.
And also it makes you look like this person who's busy. But in actual fact, you are spreading yourself too thin. You are everywhere doing everything, but you're doing nothing for yourself. Okay, so I think it's not so much of a, I don't know if, what was the question exactly? Were you asking if it's a good or bad thing?
What was the question?
When you are asking about like having to do too many things.
Why is it easy for us to get caught up in it?
Okay, why is it easy?
And burn out. So like I said, I'll be doing too many things, but then I'll experience a burnout.
Yes, for me, it was that thing of liking to be seen as this busy guy, of which at the end of the day it's pointless, because also it's not really doing me any good. Some things I don't really need to do. It's putting myself under unnecessary pressure. That's the first thing. The second thing that you are talking about, I don't think it's as easy as that. So I'm sort of like differing with what you're saying. If I understood his question correctly, if I do love something, definitely I am going to spend a lot of time doing it. Like we were talking about the bookworm. Bookworm loves books. So they spend much time into it. I don't think you can equate anything you do with a passion to any other thing. But also, I think it's worth noting that most of us young people, you know, whatever age, but most of us young people, we're still finding ourselves. And in the process of us finding ourselves, we find ourselves in doing a lot of things. So I'll touch here, touch there, touch there. I'm trying to find myself. I'm trying to, if I didn't do it early high school or early primary, I'm doing it in varsity because I'm trying to find. But eventually when you found what you like doing, of which, you know, it does happen, you find that this is me, this is what I like doing. I will spend much time into that, but also it doesn't take away the fact that balance is needed. Because at the end of the day, with the question you asked, you don't really want to burn out. I'm not saying it's not imminent. It is imminent. It will occur here and there because of, you know, whatever. But I don't think it's good going after it. Like going after a burnout, you doing a lot of things and then you end up, that's what I think.
I don't think, like for me personally, I don't know about other people, I don't think many people go after like having a hectic schedule and then burning out. I don't think people do it on purpose. You get people like my younger sister, she is good at everything she does. Like my youngest, like cooking, baking, makeup, like she's like honestly a jack of all trades. Like if you had to say what's her focus, you would like, I struggle. Even her mom, you can't pinpoint because she's so good at everything. So for example, someone like that, it's like,
but
it's true.
Jack of all trades,
Master of none.
Master of none.
Okay.
You can be good. We're not taking that away. You can be good at doing a lot of things, but like we're saying, all right, consider your health. That's where balance comes in. You can't be everywhere. Correct. I may be good in this, but there's someone better at that than I am.
So true.
So let me focus on I'm sure there's something that you may love most out of all these things.
Yeah.
All right, because you may be a sports person, you may be a writer, you may be a singer, you know, you may be a lot of things, but there's this one thing that's definitely going to stand out.
We have a good comment here from Nobi who says, spreading yourself out too thin is coming back to living a showroom lifestyle. If you are true to yourself at all times, it will be easier to manage what you love to do and what you have to do. And you won't find yourself overwhelmed with things that you don't even understand why you are doing. And then he adds you at Monday. Yes,
thank you so much. Because that's where I like this because it's good for us young people. Yeah. Because we are impacted mostly by it, in that we find ourselves doing a lot of things. I think he put it across nicely when we were talking about time management, that have time to do a specific thing. After having that time, having time for something does not mean, maybe let's clear that out. Having time for something does not mean you'll finish it at that time. Let's agree on that. So if I tell myself I've got this much stuff to study, it doesn't mean I'm going to finish it within 30 minutes or an hour. Yeah. I can spread that across, you know, different days and whatnot. But I should be able to give myself time to, you know, do other things that will, because you were talking about it yesterday. I think it's Ruben who mentioned it, that I forgot what method of studying it is, but you study 45 minutes, you give yourself a break for 15 minutes. That helps your brain sort of like absorb the stuff that you're trying to get into your system.
So how can we then, for those who have busy lifestyles, how can they maintain a healthy lifestyle, a busy lifestyle?
How can they maintain a busy lifestyle?
So how can you live a healthy life with a busy lifestyle?
Balance.
Yeah, balance, time management. I think it all goes down to having time management.
Yes.
You make time for the things you love. If you love yourself, you spoke about health, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you love yourself, you'll take good care of yourself, and you'll make time for a good diet or like exercise within your busy schedule. That's what I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and just before I pass over the mic to him, for me, the best example also is the Prophet. And
Greatest example.
I've heard him make this example a couple of times. I don't know if I may be phrasing it correctly, but look, before I think I'm all that, because also that comes into your mental. Sometimes you find yourself doing a lot of things, keeping yourself busy because you think you're the only one.
Yeah.
You are not. So give yourself time to rest. Some things, it can be a misconception that you think if you're not there, certain things won't move. It can be true, yes, but that should not take away the fact that you need to balance, you need to rest. Because, like I said, the Prophet is a great example for us. We need the Prophet in our lives. But you can imagine if, he doesn't necessarily get time to rest, then what's going to happen? I don't, for me, it boils down to that. Time management, balancing.
Yes.
Love yourself, like Ruben was saying. Love yourself enough to take care of yourself.
And then
Period.
a question from Nobi. What is this busy lifestyle so we can give you the correct answer at Luto?
Guys, I'm just reading script. I think that is a very good question. So I think for me personally,
Why are you in a hurry? Says Nande.
for me
Why?
personally, I think a busy lifestyle is having, I think it's not being able to have a balance between, so for example, me, the balance between work and life. I feel like at the moment I'm just focusing on, which I understand because I'm at the beginning of my career. I'm learning, I'm absorbing, I want to like grow and stuff. So there's that, because I also want to make a name for myself. So I think that for me, that would be it. It maybe then in school, it's for someone who's in school, it's just that it's just school. Like out of the 24 hours in the day, you are 20 hours just school, and then 4 hours is a nap to sleep. So I think that would be a busy lifestyle. And I also think and maybe not even that, it could be another complete opposite. You're just a groovist. All you do is groove. There's no time for books. So a busy lifestyle is just focusing on one thing, and that thing is taking up maybe 80% of your time. Or over occupying yourself with other things. That, I don't know if I answered that question. I probably didn't, but that's how I would answer it. How would you guys answer it?
Tafi seems to have something to say.
Before I answer it, I just want to say that I think, like, I'm just going to go back to my point when we started, that I think that how one can maintain between balance, like how one can have balance between everything, whether be it school and work, or work and school, work and life and everything. I think one just needs to know what they want in life. Like, what do I want to achieve? When you know what you want to achieve, you know how you can divide your time accordingly. So if you know that my goal is to get 78, if you know that my goal is to get 92, 92 in maths, I don't know why I went so low. If you know that you want to get 92 in maths, then you have to set time aside to say, this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to do. And also, I think, to answer your question, to say busy lifestyle, I don't necessarily think that it's you drowning yourself in one thing, but having no time for the things that are important. For an example, you can be a, God forbid, I'm married, I've got my family, I'm working for them to have everything they want, and I'm working too much, and I'm not spending time with them. That's why I said, God forbid. It's for the family, we have it. But I'm saying, having to spend a lot of time what word did you use? Overcommitting yourself to work, and overcommitting myself to people who are not my friends. Who are my friends? And I'm missing time with my family, time with God. I'm living a busy lifestyle, and I'm missing God, and I'm missing time with my family.
This is when I love when the prophet, because I've seen him do this in service. He will ask you questions that will provoke your thinking. Okay, you say you are busy with what? What are you busy doing? What are you searching for? If you say money, okay, where are you going to find it? And remember the point I mentioned. You may be busy your entire life from the time you are done with school till the time you retire. But there's nothing to show for that busy lifestyle that you were talking about or that you were boasting about. And I think for us young people, it's worth considering now. All right, it's worth considering now.
Yeah.
Like he said, what is it that I want to achieve? What is it that I want to do with my life? Because personally speaking, I do not want to live my life, doing something I don't want to be doing. Let's say, and God forbid that this is in my heart, chasing after money.
Yeah.
Because we're taught, it won't really take us anywhere. But I should have more time for the things that matter. So busy lifestyle, I think, like you said, to answer your question, it's just overcommitting yourself, not being able to put boundaries in. Here you can say no, but you still say yes. And why you're saying yes, you don't have a reason to it. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. To sum it all up, to sum everything up, I think having a goal, having a vision can also help you maintain a better balance in life. Knowing what you want, you won't overcommit with other stuff, certain stuff. But Luto, we are concluding.
Yes, but for example, right? I'll just leave it. So let's say you're saying it's good to have like a goal and a vision. But let's say they want to own their own clothing brand. And then they get an internship with David Ntlale, right? For example. That person is going to consume themselves because they're learning, that's being busy. And eventually they're like, okay, when let's say you get this at 21 and you're like, at 31 I'd like to start having my own clothing brand, right? So in those 10 years, okay, maybe the first 5 years, they just under David Ntlale, they did everything David Ntlale.
What David what?
He's a fashion designer.
Oh, okay.
So fashion designer.
Okay, I get Luto's point.
So sometimes that you're working towards that goal that you end up saying you're just going to focus on that. So sometimes you do end up casting things aside because you focused on that goal.
Yeah, I think, can we maybe not confuse things? It's not bad, like the point Luto is bringing. There's instances where you will deny yourself comfort because you're trying to achieve something.
Yes.
All right? That's fine. But you cannot necessarily be busy, like you're saying, your whole life trying to, when are you going to have time for family? When are you going to have time to do other things? He mentioned a good point. When are you going to have time for you and God?
So I think there is a time to be busy. So I think
there's time for everything.
There's a time for everything. So there will be a period in your life when you're just because you want to get there while you can. But yeah. Yeah.
All right. That brings us to the end of today's show. Just a reminder, you can get this amazing hoodie and also a t-shirt if you'd like at www.istore.itvn.co.za. And also a reminder, we will have a youth fellowship with the Prophet this Saturday at Holy Land. So please make sure you are there. And until we see each other again, thank you so much for watching.
Wait, what time will it be?
The time. So it's started 10.
Okay.
10 a.m.
Thank you for saving me.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
See you next week. Same time, same place.
I'm not your boy. I'm not your boy.